Hello and welcome back to the end of another week. It is the last week of 2024. So we'll do a little wrap up of how our garden is coming along. We have yet to do the orchard because the weather has been less than beautiful. However, we are expecting this week to be quite nice. So I think the plan is actually to go to the nursery maybe Monday or Tuesday and pick up the trees, which will go into this orchard section. Moving up to the garden, you can see all of the things. The saffron crocus are doing very well. They actually very much look like grass. So I'm kind of toying around with the idea of planting more of these elsewhere as sort of like a grass, but we'll see. Eventually, I need to kind of rethink this because I did the rocks and the crocuses. And now when I have to do the wheelbarrow to deal with the orchard, I have to go all the way around the house because there isn't a path through here. So what I'll probably end up doing is maybe making a path, like an access over there, possibly. I'm not sure yet, but yeah, something's going to happen there because I do need kind of a shortcut through here to get into the orchard. We still have plants. We've gotten some freezing temps over the last couple of weeks, but nothing's actually killed off like the physalis or the nasturtiums that are still hanging in there. Strawberry bed is very overgrown, so I need to work on that now that the strawberries are either very tiny or sleeping. So that needs an overhaul. Unfortunately, this was the blueberry and the tea tree. So the tea tree is the one that Francis actually accidentally hacked when he cut down the rest of that stuff. And obviously this is all massively overgrown. I think for the most part, I've lost the blueberries that were in here. So I'm rethinking this little section. This is the section that I usually do all of my like propagation projects and stuff. So I have managed to get this greenhouse thing working really well with the bungee cords. We've gotten quite a bit of wind and it hasn't gone anywhere. And it does actually stay warmer in there than it does out in the garden. So that's ideal. That's ideal. Right now I have three of these pots are in there, but there's nothing in them. I was kind of spending today cleaning up and reorganizing because I am getting ready for the winter sowing experiment, which when I think about it is basically just like, if you don't have a greenhouse, you're going to be sowing in those milk jugs, or you're going to be sowing in some other like protected space. So that is going to be my protected space. I'm actually thinking about getting another one because they're not too expensive. And yeah, I'll try winter sowing and see what happens, and we'll just go from there. But yeah, I did kind of clean up this. I organized my tables again. So this space is also getting kind of a revamp. Up in the garden, nothing much is happening. I am trying desperately to find, Francis bought me like a camera because I definitely have something that's coming and like digging up all of my mulch. So I'd love to know what it is, but I don't have a camera yet. And then we did have like, nothing's died yet. This time last year, everything was dead. So yeah, you can see we did actually get -1. So I'm going to reset this for this week. But yeah, despite getting it was actually -1.5. So despite getting -1.5, the nasturtiums, like, they are looking pretty sad, but they're still alive, as are the ones over there. So yeah, since I'm not really doing much, I'm just letting them do their thing. And we'll see what happens. I threw in like these cabbages and some Brussels sprouts, you know, not so long ago, because I got off to a late start. But we'll see what happens. Like, maybe they'll grow, maybe they won't. The awesome thing about gardening is that it's not really the end of the world if something doesn't work. The garlic, the shallots, the onions are looking amazing. You might remember last season, I tried growing onions, I think down in here, and they basically like completely rotted. So I'm happy that so far none of them look to be rotting. Again, you can see like we definitely have creatures that are coming to like dig around in here. And they've done some damage up in here too. So I try not to worry about it though. As long as they're not like eating things. I did get around to organizing this area a bit. So I think I may have mentioned that we're going to be putting in asparagus over there, if I can order it in time. So yeah, the idea is like asparagus, and then maybe in front of the asparagus, like another 1 or 2 rows, basically some rows of things will end up going kind of back in there. And I'm not really sure about the rest. This whole area, I want to mainly be perennials. And I'm sort of letting it evolve as I say, okay, I definitely want blah. Like, I know that I definitely want asparagus, and asparagus is a perennial that takes years, like, just to get established so that you can get the spears from them. So I know that I want like at least 1, if not maybe 2 rows of asparagus back there. And then other than that, I do have like a perpetual, I think I have 2 or 3 perpetual kale plants coming in that grow more like trees. So I'm not sure where. I mean, I may end up kind of like putting them along here because they grow kind of tall, but we'll see. It's all a work in progress. This rhubarb has not died back yet for the winter, so I'm leaving it. I did kind of sort out its bed, but I'm not cutting it back because it's not naturally dying back like it typically does. This one, however, did completely die back. So I went in and I checked the crown just to make sure it was like still there and not rotted, because it kind of died back so fast. I was like, oh shoot, maybe I rotted out the crown, but it does look like the crown is in there. So I'm going to go ahead and just leave it be. People say that they definitely regrow. So hopefully that comes back next year. And I'm planning on winter sowing peas in here, peas and beans, because plenty of people say that they actually put, in temperate areas like this, they actually put their seeds in the ground now, and then they use those bean and pea sprouts as signs in the spring as to when it's good to plant outside. Because the winter freezes won't kill the seeds. And the only thing that you have to worry about is potentially having somebody dig them up and eat them. But hopefully that won't happen. Chicken is coming still. I did order a door, an automatic door. So the automatic door should be arriving sometime soon. And then I'm planning on getting that installed and getting it tested just to make sure that it's functioning the way I expect it to. I did also get some fabric that I'm going to make nest box curtains, privacy curtains, for the chickens, because I've read that they like their privacy when they're laying eggs. So I got some fabric for that, and I've ordered some things to go on the bottom of the nest box to give them something like soft and cushiony to lay their eggs on. So all that's happening. I did add some more of these mason lights because they work really well and I really enjoy them. So I've added more on all the corners here. And actually, I added some more along there. And so at night, if I have to come out here, my idea, I'm actually going to get more because my idea is that I kind of want to illuminate this whole path. So that people can kind of see at night if they're coming up to check on the chickens. And then actually inside the coop, I want to hang some lights up in the ceiling area. And again, that's just because like I am going to have an automatic door, but every night, because I'm paranoid, I want to make sure that the chickens get in and get into the coop. So I want to be able to come out here, especially like in the wintertime, it starts getting dark quite early. So that's happening there. I extended my path. So it's looking very nice. I slipped and fell on my butt one too many times when this was all like a muddy disaster. So I finally bit the bullet and I'm just like, I'm going to use some of my mulch and just mulch it. Originally, I didn't want to because I kind of like, I'm not sure how the transition is going to go from the mulch to the driveway. But ultimately, I have no idea when we're going to do the driveway and my safety is number one. So, so we mulched that. My mother-in-law gave me another chicken for Christmas. So that's another rooster. And all the stuff that all the black fabric that I'm pulling up from this space is getting moved over here, as weed suppression. So I have obviously one more little section that I want to suppress. And then that will just kind of stay like that probably until the spring. Again, I'm not really sure what I'm going to do in that area. So it's emerging. Other things that happened this week. The obvious one is Christmas. Merry Christmas. It's a little late, but Happy New Year as well, because the next installation will not be until after the new year. So yeah, we spent Christmas with his family. That was pretty cool. I also made some fudge. That was a big hit. And the fig liquor that I made was actually very, very well received. Plus I made some spiced apple liqueur, and I didn't have enough to give people bottles of that, but I have now been told that I'm responsible for making spiced apple liqueur and fig liqueur every season. And I just saw here we have one of our little blackbirds who's happily digging in the mulch looking for bugs and worms and things of that nature. So it could be actually that it's just these guys who are digging through, because yeah, you can see he's making quite a hole over there. If I get a little closer. And speaking of which, earlier I found a giant cricket, so I'll throw in a photo of that. But yeah, I think that's it for today. I'm gonna leave you with the blackbird, and yeah. So I'll check in a week and let you know how things are doing. But in the meantime, I hope you have a very happy New Year, and I'll see you next week. Bye.